It's really hard for musicians unless you're connected somehow, or the timing is just, the stars are aligned, somehow you get lucky to get published and promoted. For every great band that's made it out there, there's thousands of these starving musicians around the world that are just as good, but they'll never get heard. So I started a website that promotes little known but worthy up and coming artists for free, and again gives them global exposure.
Marvin Wilson is a lifelong musician, a self-described old hippie rock and roller who has written, performed, and recorded music all his life. He has written hundreds of songs on a wide variety of genres: rock, hard rock, blues, rhythm and blues, folk rock, rockabilly, country and western, reggae, jazz, and as a guy who says he's not too religious, he's written Christian rock. At age 69, he is semi-retired but stays busy co-owning and operating a website designed to promote little-known but worthy up-and-coming artists on a global scale to help them gain notoriety and make money to aid in pursuing their crafts. Today's guest is Marvin Wilson.
Radio show with Bruce Hilliard. Today and every day, reaching out for innovative ideas in every way. Today's show is brought to you by your future. It comes with a lifetime guarantee. Make a better each day now, baby. Better in every way.
Does it have a hook? That's one of the most important things for getting a hit song is, a song destined to be a hit is one that you hear it for the first time on the radio as a hook and a melody go with it so strong that you're humming and singing all day long and can't wait to hear it again.
So a hook for the listeners, and I'm using for some reason I grabbed Jackson Browne. Doctor My Eyes is the hook.
Oh, sure.
Is the song.
Sure.
I'm not sure what year that even came out.
The country western genre, to me, they are just the most brilliant at coming up with hooks.
Yeah.
Much too old to know better, but still too young to care. Wish I didn't know now what I didn't know then.
Those are clever.
They're just hook after hook after hook. I'm just amazed by those writers. But when I write, usually I'm fooling around on my guitar, and I just come across a chord sequence that really strikes me, and then lyrics start coming out of it. Bruce, it can go the other way too. I can write a poem and think, man, I should put this to music. And by the way, I think the best songs out there are the ones where the lyrics stand on their own as a poem.
Yeah.
It really says something. It has meaning. I grew up, I'm an old hippie rock and roller, Bruce.
That's what it says on your bio here.
A little bit of background for everybody. My first public performance was at the age of 2. I was I was a preacher's kid, and my mom played piano for the services, and she taught me how to sing this old-fashioned little hymn, simple hymn. Stood me up on the piano bench next to her, and that was my first public performance at the age of 2.
Wow!
And I went on to become a music student in high school. I was president of the choir and started composing then. And at age 14, actually, is when I got bit by the idea of getting into rock and roll, because that was when the Beatles invaded the United States. It was 1963. I happened to be bedridden. I had rheumatic heart fever.
Oh, no.
And but I had a clear shot from my bedroom into the living room where we had our little black and white TV. This was 1963, mind you.
Yeah.
And the Ed Sullivan Show, the Beatles came on it. And I believe they performed She Loves You and I Want to Hold Your Hand. And that sound, that captivating, brand new, crisp, fresh, exciting sound. I looked at that, listened to that, and I said, Marvin, you can't just watch that. You've got to do that. And, of course, I was only 14, and I was brought up in a strict religious environment where you're not supposed to sing songs of the world or dance or anything like that.
Oh, wow.
So,
let alone wear your hair like that.
Yeah, and I started growing my hair. You can't believe all the problems I've had at home. And
over here,
it's funny too because my dad and I would fight over me getting a haircut, and he also thought I should go to the Vietnam War, and I was a draft resistor. I didn't believe in that war, and so we kind of grew apart. By the time I left high school and went to college, I couldn't wait to get the hell out of there. And I went to college and just went crazy. But the reason it's funny is because when I went home to visit him like 10 years later, I had gotten over the long hair thing. My hair was short, and he was wearing his hair long, and he agreed with me by then that the Vietnam War was wrong.
Okay.
So the way things turned. But anyway, in college, I went through a couple of years. And then I was one of those, it was the hippie era, and I was one of those guys that tuned in, turned on, and dropped out, and joined a rock and roll band, and went off on a 15-year rock and roll career, traveling all around the country in Canada. We even went down into Mexico, and had a great time doing that, and played a lot of rock tunes, and wrote a lot of rock and roll songs, too. Oh, by the time I was in my mid-30s, I hadn't, quote unquote, made it in rock and roll. My dream of being a rock and roll star looked like it was over. And I was married by then, had one kid, another one on the way. And, when you don't make it in the music industry as a band, you're going to wind up playing cover tunes in bars,
Oh, yeah. I was there.
Just cranking out cover tunes for young people to get drunk to and have sex.
Yeah.
And, and it wasn't paying enough to raise a family on. So I had to get out of it, and I went into business. Started a home improvement company and was very successful at that. And then for a long time, I didn't really do much with music until I returned to it back in my 50s. The business was over with. I was into other things. I started becoming a writer. I've got several books published. And the artistic side of me flourished again, and I started writing again. So that's kind of a snapshot, Marvin, in a nutshell.
Yeah, I'm going to put links to all of your information on the website show notes. So it'll be everything Marvin, everything you ever wanted to know about Marvin Wilson. And publishing for the people. Yes,
that's my partner, and I have a partner who it was actually initially his idea. He's also a musician and knows what it's like trying to get anything published and promoted, get any kind of notoriety. It's really hard. He also has written hundreds of songs. And so we came up with this idea of a website where, let's say, you're a musician or you're a musical group or you're a book author or one of these artsy filmmakers, and you can put together an ebook or a CD or a DVD, and you get a copy written. We don't do that for you, but we'll for free. We'll promote you on our website, and it's called Publishing for the People. 4 is the number 4.
Yeah,
and that stands for a win-win-win-win program. It's a win for the artists because for free they get promoted, and they also get paid. We set them up with what we call an art lot. And this art lot has 500 available downloads on it. People go to the website. If they like the sample, we have a little sample of your work on your art lot. They can make a donation to your art lot of $10, and in return for that, they get a download of your ebook, CD, or DVD. And the artist gets $2,000 once the 500 downloads are done, which we hope will help them pursue their craft. Put up another art lot, make another 2,000, and like that while they're continuing to develop their craft. So the artists win, the people win. They get exposure to new, fresh talent that they may never have heard about before. Because again, we have artists from India, Africa, Europe, United States, coming in from all over the world. They also we actually give back to the people because they're the ones that promote. See, in traditional publishing, the consumer is the one that drives it. They're the ones that are shelling out the bucks. Okay, but they don't get anything back except for, that one piece of music or a book. With us, if you get on the site and you refer other people to the site, and they make donations and they refer other people, we have it's like a social networking, almost like a Facebook social network built into the site where you can play all these promotional games promoting your favorite artists. And we pay you cash. Let's say you're one of the people who's done the most promoting. You can win $20, $40, $60, $100, even $1,000. We'll pay you for helping to promote our artists. So the people win, the artists wins. Charities win because we donate 10% of all revenues to the favorite charities, which, by the way, the people vote on. We have a list of charities, and they vote for which one they want to receive the donation. And the fourth win, of course, is us. We make some money, too. But we only take 14% of all the profits. And that's a far cry from what the big publishing companies do, which if you are able to get hooked up with a big publishing company, I'm sure you know this, Bruce, they're going to own you. They own the rights to your work. They're going to make the most of the money. They're going to tell you what you could play and where you're going to play and how you're going to play it and what you're going to dress like mostly these days. So we just think it's a great idea, and it's just getting started. So we don't know how well it's going to go, but we're thinking if it goes as well as we think it will, it'll have a significant impact on the publishing industry.
Yeah, this is new to me. I've heard of similar versions, but this sounds much more direct and a lot less middlemanish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the artists, they still retain full rights to their work. If they still want to self-publish, go up on Amazon, produce some CDs and sell them at their gigs or whatever, that's completely up to them. This is just a free, no strings attached promotional offer for any artist out there that wants to get some notoriety and make a few bucks on the side.
That's somewhat similar to what I'm doing, actually.
Really?
Well, in that they can talk about it and play it.
Yeah, of course, sure.
But then they're going to have to follow a link to either their website or, in this case, yours. Don't fail to mention if somebody has something, tell them, tell Bruce about it, and he can put it on the Better Each Day podcast radio show. Maybe maybe a couple more people will pick up on it. Who knows?
Sure, we can help each other.
The description of you growing up and, from the Beatles on and stuff, I think is shared by millions of people.
Oh.
And I hear about I saw Beatles on Ed Sullivan and it changed my life almost every day. But with you, you had this drive to actually pursue it and turn it into something that's, in line with the digital age, in that because of the digital age, you're in a huge ocean of other people that are out there too. But it does give the little guy, I think, a little edge up.
Sure.
In that instead of getting absolutely no publicity, you can get some and you can build from it. Yes,
that's what we just want to help.
Yeah.
And will it make you an international star overnight? Of course not.
Nothing
but, most bands have a local following, right?
Yeah.
But they're limited to that. But, here you can come on our website, tell all your fans about the website. They'll log on, start helping to promote you, and then it snowballs from there. Because
that's how everything starts.
Yeah. So we're just here to help, and we think it's a good thing for people. Because my partner and I know what it's like to really want to have the full-time capacity, to just pursue your craft, not have to worry about money, and just really dig into it. That rarely happens.
The utopian world of being a songwriter.
Yeah.
It gets so complicated. You would think, I can crochet a pot holder and just sell it to somebody. Well, it isn't quite that way. It's
quite.
Amazing how complicated it's gotten through the years. And now it's just kind of morphing into a new version of complicated. But the fact that it is accessible to anyone now, I think that's a good thing. You don't have to have a 45 and pay the DJ to play it. Stuff that used to go on.
Right. Well, the digital age is making it much easier. That's for sure.
Tell me about a couple of songs. I had a chance to listen to them. Again, new to me, Guided by the Light. What is that about?
It's my latest CD. I got into. I wanted to do something in the Christian rock genre. I'm not a religious person, Bruce. I hope you still love me, but
always. The moment I heard your name.
But I do I do really love and follow the teachings, the timeless great teachings of Jesus. So I consider myself sort of a spiritualist, non-religious Christian. And, in the last 20 years or so, I've been watching contemporary churches. They have these praise bands and the rise of the Christian rock bands. And my gosh, to me, it just was so, I don't know, cookie cutter sounding. You turn on the radio and I can instantly tell if it's a Christian rock song. It's the same four chords, the same sort of instrumentation, yada, yada, yada. So I thought I'd just, for fun, do something different. So I set Christian lyrics to good old rock and roll, and rhythm and blues, and funkabillys type songs. One of the songs that I sent you is a sort of a folk rockabilly, I guess you'd call it. Guided by the Light is God is all around us. Inspiration is everywhere, and if you can't see it, it's all about just seeing the light.
It's a miracle one-on-one. If you really want to try but you still can't buy it, I can give a little tip in a hand. There's a light so bright it can blind you at night. If you want to see it now, you can. Guided by the light, the way it's shining bright. Well, you ain't really lived till you kiss my God with the stars lit up at night. Sun shines every day, moonlight leads the way. It's a sure thing day and night when you're guided by the light. There's a big light shining on a new horizon since I opened up my eyes one day. If you still can't see it, I can help you feel it if you just walk over this way. No, it ain't self-help, you can help yourself to a helping from the great divine. Get your good God on from right now, I'll have it with you all the time. Guided by the light, the way it's shining bright. Well, you ain't really lived till you kiss my God with the stars lit up at night. Sun shines every day, moonlight leads the way. It's a sure thing day and night when you're guided by the light. And inject you with the one and no time. When you come to your senses, you'll be counting your blessings with the light shining from you inside. Guided by the light, the way it's shining bright. Well, you ain't really lived till you kiss my God with the stars lit up at night. Hey, the sun shines every day, moonlight leads the way. It's a sure thing day and night when you're guided by the light. Guided by the light, the way it's shining bright. Well, you ain't really lived till you kiss my God when the stars lit up at night. Sun shines every day, moonlight leads the way. It's a sure thing day and night when you're guided by the light. keeper. Yeah.
To me, and I know there's probably atheists listening in, but to me, there's so much order and perfection in this order of this universe that, I can just watch the ever-changing, always the same, but never the same twice, rhythm of the water, or stare at the stars in the sky, or just go out and sit and meditate in the woods and listen to the sound, the wind flowing through the trees, and it illuminates me. And so it's all about being guided by the light. And to me, that's where you connect with God. You connect with the universe, as people would say, whatever you call it,
Yeah.
quote unquote, capital IT, it. This is one of the questions I've always had as a young man is we say it's a tree, it's a mountain, it's a bird, it's a song, it's a game of Scrabble, but what is it?
It's what they say. I agree. I think there's something funny in the room, too. And if you look for something bad, it's out there, too. You could spend all day doing that. But
well, sure, where's your focus? And that gets, I'm a bit of a law of attraction follower, too, What you focus on is what the universe is going to give you more of.
Yeah.
And so that's basically the reason. And I set it to it was sort of an Aerosmith type riff going on with then, it's sort of half singing, half rapping the songs.
That's kind of a walk this way type of thing. Yeah.
Like Steve does for Aerosmith.
Yeah.
I had an assembly of really top-notch musicians help me produce. We had a band called the Average Praise Band, and produced this CD called Rhythm and Truths. We'll praise the hell out of you. And so it was a lot of fun, and I think it's by the way, it's on the website, Publishing for the People. If anyone wants to get a copy, make a donation to the art lot, I would greatly appreciate it. You might love it. So that's Guided by the Light. It trails off. You listen to it.
Yeah.
This sort of a jazzy type trail off ending, and
what comes to mind, I have to go back to the Beatles again on this. Remember, they'd been out maybe a couple of years, and some group in the South decided, and it was promoted by a radio station, let's burn the Beatles records because they're satanic or something.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and there are pictures and stuff, and I think there's even a little soundbite of the radio station saying that it was when Lennon said that the Beatles had as many followers as Jesus, I believe.
Oh, no, more. He said they were more popular.
Yeah, and it was really taken out of context. He said it in England, and nobody said anything over there, but somebody found the news clip and brought it to the United States, and in the southern states, they didn't like that one bit.
Oh, the Bible Belt went crazy.
Yeah, and so, and then lo and behold, I turn on the music now, the Christian music and stuff. It sounds a lot like the Beatles.
Yeah. Well,
I just don't know what to think, Marvin. I don't know.
Let's face it, Bruce, the Beatles, I challenge anyone to point to any other musical group that changed and influenced pop music as much as they did. You can still hear the influence today. I mean, they gave birth to all the ensuing forms of, the heavy metal, came out of them.
They set a standard. There's no question about it.
As songwriters, and to watch the way they developed from starting, with simple little ditties like "Love Me Do" and "I Want to Hold Your Hand," into these marvelously complex and well-written songs of Eleanor Rigby and the White Album, which set a whole new trend where the whole album is one continuous symphony.
You can get a White Album T-shirt. They're just the white T-shirts that you buy that don't have anything on them. Yeah. I'll sell you one for $100. It's the White Album T-shirt.
All right.
Yeah, it's a special favor for you, Marvin. You know that. I'll give it to you, one for the price of two. All right, I'm blabbing now. So
such a deal like I got for you.
Yeah, the wonderful thing called editing is going to come in here. So,
yeah.
So, is there anything else you want to talk about? Any, thoughts for young people that are getting into music or in this case, publishing for the people? How can you help a kid that just thinks, wow, I want to get this published. I want people to hear it. What do they do?
Well, log on to the web, Publishing for the People, and the word "for" is replaced by the number 4, so it's publishing the number 4 thepeople.com. It's very simple, Bruce. You just there'll be a pop-up that says, "Are you an artist? Would you like to be promoted?" Click here. It takes you to an artist sign-up page. You fill out a short form. Send us a sample of your writing or your music or your movie that you're making. And we can't just put any crap up there, of course. So we do review it. But if we see potential, it doesn't even have to be a finished product. If we just see the potential there, we'll set you up with an art lot and get you some money so you can pursue your craft. And come back, start another art lot with the same music or whatever, but now vastly improved because it's been produced in a good studio. Just come our way, log on and check us out. It's free, and we will help you. We're here. We care because we've been through what you're going through, young people.
It's a cool platform. I like what you're doing. It's going to help some people.
We certainly hope so. That's why we're here. But I would just say words of encouragement to young artists. Most of you have to have day jobs, but if you really are passionate about what you want to do, don't give up. Stay up after the work and pursue. Work on your craft. Just believe in yourself. Think. We're going to scratch each other's back, Bruce. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it sounds like a good fit. Let's do that.
And I'd love to send people your way, too. So
great.
All right, buddy.
All right, thanks, Marvin.
Mama.
You've been listening to the Better Each Day podcast radio show with Bruce Hilliard. We'll be back with a new horizon, but until then, honor the future. It comes with a lifetime guarantee.
And we're all just trying to make the next day a bit better.